Right, guys. So, matters arising. I've been quiet for some time now, just been watching to see what's happening with the government. What exactly are they proposing? They've brought out a sheet where I feel like I've gone through and I can actually tell you, right, this is what they're saying. So, I'm going to be talking about those who are carers right now, those who are on the health and care visas, because now that one ain't pay me pass. Okay, so the first massive change is she has stated that there's going to be an additional 10 years. Now, she didn't say it's going to be 10 years. She said additional 10 years. What does that mean? If you're supposed to be 5 years, you're thinking 10 years extra, which in 15 years. That's how the paper reads. So far, that's how the paper reads. So, an additional 10 years to qualify for indefinite leave to remain. It affects you. Yes, it's annoying, but let's calm down and let's go on. What else are they proposing? They're also proposing that dependents would have to qualify on their own merit, meaning if you're a dependent, you have to meet your own, not just relying on your spouse's own. Okay, so if your spouse is going to be 15 years, blah blah blah, you have to meet your own merit. So you have to answer your father's name, not your husband's name or your wife's name, which in itself is another annoying thing. The third thing, they also talked about children. They realize that children cannot meet by themselves, but then they're thinking, if you now become over 18, should you meet by yourself? Like, should you meet the requirements to stay in the country to get indefinite leave to remain as a dependent child over 18 years? More annoying stuff. So, what else did they say in that paper? They talked about transitions. They talked about, if you're paying higher grade task, it will be tax, it will be 5 years. If you're paying 100 and something K, then it will be even 3 years and younger. So in other words, the country, they're telling you that your benefit to the society is according to how much you're earning. Okay, you're only useful to them if you're earning more. All right, which I find very, very ridiculous, because carers don't set their salaries. They set the salaries. They are the ones who say so, because you can't say someone as a carer is not entitled because you're earning just 20 something thousand, which is not up to 50,000. So you're earning 20 something thousand. Because of that, your worth is diminished. You're not useful to the society. Because she even used the word that was very annoying when she said, because those people are not going to be basically financially, you're not going to be, they can't rely on you financially. In fact, see, anyways, now it's annoying because yes, everybody knows that when you come to this country, you've already made up your mind. You think about it. Can I do 5 years? Okay, yeah, I can do 5 years and I can go on, But then they are shifting the goalposts through no fault of yours. So what does this mean? It means we just have to sit down and wait? No. There are different ways you can actually let your voice be heard. And I think a lot of times you're just sitting down and just watching. We need to actually go and let our voice be heard. You need to put it to your MP. You have to send it to the person that is your in the parliament for where you live, just so that they know that this is going to affect you. And a lot of times we just leave it and let it go to, que sera, but it's not going to happen this time. We all have to let our voices be heard. And I'm going to put the link in my bio to where you can actually go and do the survey and tell them your own 2 cents, okay? Because they've basically said, yes, you're useful to the society when it comes to doing the shitty job, but when it then comes to actually getting permanent settled status, you're not useful because you're not earning enough money. Where's the humanity in that? Because imagine if the carers in this country decide to go on strike. Imagine if all the carers that are migrants and immigrants say, right, these 2 days we are not working. There will be a standstill, because there are lots of people who rely every single day on carers visiting them 2, 3, 4 times a day. There are a lot of people who rely on carers to be able to do the job. Like the doctors rely on carers, the nurses rely on carers. They rely on them to actually be able to do their own proper job properly. So for them, the government to come and tell you you're not worth it, to tell you, because you're not earning this amount of money, then you're not so useful to us. Really, I find it very ridiculous, and I found it very, very demeaning, the way she talked about it and the way she said, because they are not expected, they are lower earners, and so they're not expected to be humans. It just sounded very, very annoying and but I know it's very alarming. What we have to do is make our voices heard, okay? Because they can't just tell you, oh yeah, come in, let's do what we're going to do. If it's about the benefits, they should take the benefits away. Say, right, okay, yeah, okay, you can get your settled status, but you're not going to be entitled to benefits for this amount of years. I don't think anybody will be crying. Because no, I know a lot of people who are on a health and care visa. Not one of them is on benefits. Not one of them is waiting for the government to give them handouts, because we like good life. We like good life, and we are not going to be like sitting and waiting, oh, let them give us handouts before we can live our life. So nobody, they're not waiting for that. So if it's actually about benefits, because this right thing now is just like when the elephant is fighting, is the ant that's crying. Two opposing parties, they're just trying to up one another, and they've decided that migrants are going to, and now in this sense, legal migrants are going to be the ones to bear the brunt of their tussle, the power struggle to stay in seat. And I find that very ridiculous. So just give me a like and a comment. Tell me how this is affecting you. I know a lot of people who are not even getting the zeal to go to work, because what's the point? What's the point?